Shalom, my friends. Today, I am going to pull back the curtain of reality. I am going to reveal a hidden code, a spiritual technology embedded within the very fabric of the Torah, that has been used for millennia by sages and mystics to engineer miracles. This is not a metaphor. It is a precise formula for activating divine intervention in your life. Not in a month, not in a year, but within 24 hours. This is the secret to how the universe orchestrates what we call coincidence, to deliver the blessings you have been praying for. But first, a question, and I want you to be specific. If you could have one miracle, one divine intervention in your life right now, by this time tomorrow, what would it be? Not a vague wish for happiness, a specific, concrete outcome, a specific amount of money, a specific healing, a specific opportunity. What is the miracle you need? Write it in the comments below. Naming it is the first step to claiming it. Before we activate this ancient code, I need you to join our mission. We are on a mission to reach 100,000 subscribers. This is not about numbers. It is about building a global sanctuary of spiritual power. A community of creators who understand that miracles are not random acts of divine whimsy, but the result of spiritual law. If you are ready to learn and apply these laws, then do your part. Hit that subscribe button right now. Join this sacred family, this mishpacha. And listen, for those of you who are ready to become true masters of this spiritual technology, I have something extraordinary. I have opened enrollment for the Torah Millionaire Business School. But I must warn you, it is closing very soon. For just $299, I will unveil the full Torah wealth system, the 3,000-year-old blueprint for engineering the life of your dreams. The link is in the comments below. If you feel the call, do not wait. When the door closes, it closes. Now listen to me. Why do your prayers for miracles feel like you are screaming into a void? You pray for a financial breakthrough, and you are met with silence. You pray for a healing, and the sickness remains. You pray for an opportunity, and the door stays shut. You begin to think that God is not listening, or that you are not worthy, or that miracles are just for other people, for people in the ancient stories. The problem is not God's willingness. The problem is your method. You are using the wrong tool. You are praying for a miracle from a state of desperation. You are begging. You are pleading. Your prayer is a broadcast of your lack, of your neediness. You are screaming into the heavens, "I don't have it. I am in a state of emergency." And the universe, which is a perfect mirror of your consciousness, responds by giving you more of the very state you are broadcasting. More lack, more emergency. I know this because I was the king of desperate prayer. I was a professional beggar before God. I remember one specific instance that is burned into my soul. I was, in my late 20s, working on my first major real estate development. I had poured every penny I had and every penny I could borrow into this project. It was my entire world. And then, disaster struck. A zoning regulation changed unexpectedly. My financing was pulled. I had a deadline of Friday at 5 p.m. to come up with $250,000, or the entire project would collapse, and I would be wiped out. I would be worse than broke. I would be disgraced. For 3 days, I didn't sleep. I prayed like a man on fire. I was in the synagogue at all hours, my face buried in the prayer book, tears streaming down my face. God, please, I need a miracle. Please, just give me the money. I'm begging you." It was raw. It was emotional. It was desperate. And it was completely and utterly useless. By Friday morning, nothing had happened. I was a dead man walking. I called my mentor, that same wise rabbi, my voice cracking with despair. I told him the situation. I told him I had been praying non-stop. And he said something that stopped my heart. He said, "David, stop begging. You are praying like a slave. A slave begs for scraps. A partner asks for the tools to get the job done. You are using the wrong prayer." Here is the fundamental problem, the common enemy. You are praying for a supernatural miracle to crash into your life, instead of asking God to orchestrate a natural one. You are asking God to break the laws of physics, to drop a bag of money from the sky. This is the prayer of a child. The prayer of a mature, empowered creator is different. It is more subtle, more sophisticated, and infinitely more powerful. It is not a prayer for God to shatter the rules of the game. It is a prayer for God to arrange the pieces on the board in your favor. The hidden mechanism, the secret code for this type of prayer, is hidden in plain sight in the book of Genesis, in chapter 24. It is in the prayer of Eliezer, the servant of Abraham. Abraham sends Eliezer on the most important mission of his life, to find a wife for his son Isaac. Eliezer arrives in a foreign land at a well, surrounded by countless young women. He has no idea how to choose. He is faced with an impossible task. And what does he do? He prays. But he does not pray a prayer of desperation. He prays a prayer of spiritual engineering. He says in Genesis 24, verse 12, "And he said, O Lord, God of my master Abraham, please grant me success today, and show steadfast love to my master Abraham." Now, that sounds like a nice, standard prayer. But the secret is in the Hebrew. The Hebrew words for "please grant me success" are "hakre na lefanai." This phrase does not just mean "grant me success." The root of the word hakre is kuf resh he, which is the same root as the word mikre, which means chance or coincidence. Eliezer is not just saying, "God, make me successful." He is saying something far more profound. He is saying, "God, please arrange a coincidence for me today." He is asking God to orchestrate the seemingly random events of reality in a way that produces a miraculous outcome. He is not asking for a voice from heaven to point out the right girl. He is asking for the right girl to appear as a natural, coincidental part of the flow of life. This is the hidden code. The prayer of Hakre Nal Fanai is the activation switch for hidden miracles. It is the prayer that says, "God, I know you are the master of reality. I am not asking you to break your own rules. I am asking you to use your rules, to manipulate the currents of chance and probability, to make the solution to my problem appear as a natural, everyday event." This is the prayer of a partner, not a beggar. A partner understands that the CEO doesn't personally deliver the mail, but he can arrange for the mail to be delivered. You are asking God to arrange the delivery. But this code has two critical activation requirements. It does not work without them. The first is specificity. Eliezer did not just say, "God, arrange a coincidence." He defined the coincidence. He said, "Let the young woman to whom I say, 'Please let down your jar that I may drink,' and who shall say, 'Drink, and I will water your camels also,' let her be the one whom you have appointed for your servant Isaac." He created a specific, measurable, and slightly unusual test. He gave God a clear target. He designed the coincidence he was looking for. Vague prayers get vague results. Specific prayers get specific miracles. The second requirement is action. Where did Eliezer say this prayer? He said it at the well. He didn't sit back in the tent in Canaan and pray for a wife to be delivered to his doorstep. He undertook the long and difficult journey. He went to the place where young women of that city would naturally congregate. He put himself in the path of the potential miracle. He took action, and then he prayed for God to orchestrate the events within that field of action. You must do the same. You must go to the well. You must make the calls. You must send the emails. You must go to the networking event. You must act, and then pray for God to arrange a coincidence within your action. My rabbi explained this to me on that terrible Friday morning. He said, "Stop begging for a bag of money to fall from the sky. That is the prayer of a child. Pray like Eliezer. Pray for a coincidence, and then get up and go to the well." I asked him, "What is the well?" He said, "The well is where the water is." Where is the money in your world? It is with investors, with bankers, with clients. Get on the phone. Go to your office. Put yourself in the path of the money. And as you do, pray the prayer of Eliezer. So I did. My heart was still pounding, but my prayer had changed. I drove to my office. I sat at my desk and I prayed. "Master of the universe, God of my fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Hakre nal fanai hayom. Please arrange a coincidence for me today. I need $250,000 by 5 p.m. I am going to start calling every person I know, even the ones who have already said no. Let one of them have a change of heart. Let one of them have had a good day. Let one of them see my number and feel a sudden urge to help. Arrange the coincidence, and I will do the work." I started making the calls. The first 5 were rejections. The old despair started to creep in. But I held on to the prayer. On the 6th call, I called an investor who had turned me down flat 2 weeks earlier. He answered the phone, and his voice was different. He said, "David, you're not going to believe this. I was just sitting here thinking about you. I had a deal of my own close this morning, and I have some unexpected capital freed up. Is that project of yours still alive?" My friends, I could barely breathe. By 3 p.m. that afternoon, the money was wired to my account. It was a miracle. But it was a miracle that came dressed in the clothes of a coincidence. It was a Hakre Nalfanai miracle. Now, let me give you the practical protocol to activate this hidden Torah code in your own life. The Eliezer Protocol, a 3-step guide to engineering miracles. Step 1. Define the coincidence. You must get crystal clear on the miracle you need. Vague prayers get no answer. Take out a piece of paper. Write down the specific, measurable outcome you need. I need to receive $10,450 to clear my credit card debt. I need a new client that will generate at least $5,000 a month in revenue. I need to find a buyer for my house at a price of $450,000 or more. Then, like Eliezer, you must define the form the coincidence will take. For example, let this happen by having an old, forgotten client call me out of the blue. Or, let this happen by having me stumble upon the perfect job listing online that I was not even looking for. You are designing the miracle. Step 2. Go to the well. A miracle cannot happen in a vacuum. You must take physical action and put yourself in the path of the blessing. What is your well? If you need a job, the well is the job sites, the networking events, the phone calls to contacts. If you need a client, the well is the sales calls, the marketing efforts, the industry conferences. You must identify the field of action where your miracle can logically occur, and you must enter that field. You must start walking toward the well. Step 3. Activate the code. As you are taking action, as you are walking toward or standing at your well, you will say the prayer. You will say, Master of the universe, God of my fathers, Hakre Nalfanai Hayom. Please, arrange a coincidence for me today. I am in need of your specific, defined miracle. I am here at the well, doing my part. I ask you now to do yours. Arrange the pieces. Orchestrate the events. Make the miraculous appear natural. I trust that you are the master of all coincidence. This is the work. It is the work of a spiritual engineer. It is the work of a partner with God. It is the work of moving from a passive beggar to an active co-creator. I am not giving you a challenge today. I am giving you a new way to pray, a new way to interact with the divine. It is a shift from asking for magic to asking for orchestration. Here are 3 immediate actions to implement this protocol. 1. Tonight, perform step 1. Get brutally specific about the miracle you need and the form the coincidence could take. Write it down. 2. Tomorrow, identify your well. What is the field of action you need to enter? Decide on the first 3 actions you will take to go there. 3. Before and during your actions tomorrow, activate the code. Say the prayer of Eliezer. Ask God to arrange a coincidence for you, and then watch with eyes of faith as the seemingly random events of your day begin to align in a miraculous way. Remember the secret of Eliezer. He did not wait for the miracle to happen. He went to the place where it could happen and asked God to arrange the details. Your life is a divine chessboard. You must move your pieces, but you have a secret weapon. You can ask the grandmaster of the game to arrange the other pieces on the board in your favor. That is not cheating. That is partnership. As it is written, the lot is cast into the lap, but its every decision is from the Lord. You must cast the lot. You must take the action, but trust that the outcome, the coincidence, the miracle is in His hands. Shalom, and may you be blessed with the wisdom to pray like Eliezer, the courage to act, and the profound joy of seeing the hand of God orchestrate the beautiful, miraculous coincidences of your life. Amen.